Shane Arden.
Mr Chairman, it's a pleasure to rise in the Psychoactive Substances Bill, and particularly after the previous speaker, who I know is genuine in her desire to see this drug brought under control. Although I would suggest to her that sometimes those that are in opposition tend to rewrite history in a way that may not be exactly as I remember it in the committee myself. And one of the things that I think the member might be careful to not allow herself to be drawn into in opposition is trying to manage the process in the committee to delay the passage of the bill, which is entirely what was intended by the proposals brought forward. When the chairman tried to rule out, and I've listened to the poppy dog campaign from the other side of the House. I've listened to that for the last 3 debates in this, and I know and I can see straight through it, and you can see by the reaction that I'm absolutely right in what I'm saying. The only reason that they were trying to introduce these new submissions, which were clearly outside of what was intended in this process, was to delay the process through the House and delay the introduction of this bill. And then to listen to the Honourable Trevor Mallard talk about his newfound concern for puppy dogs. My goodness, we have stooped to a new political low in this House when that starts to happen. The reality is, read the bill, Trevor, read the bill. What it says is there will be an expert panel that will decide what testing is required and not required. And if you have a look at that for a moment, Mr Mallard, you will find that one of that expert panel, conveniently left out by the previous speaker, she highlighted all of the expertise that will be brought to that panel in regard to the medical background, but she didn't mention the expertise that's going to be brought in regard to animal welfare to that expert panel, and they will decide whether or not there is a need for animal testing. So what I'm understanding the suggestion to be from the other side of the House is that if the drugs can't be proven to be of minimum harm, then we will rule out animal testing. We will rule that out by supporting an SOP from the Green Party. And to me, that is beyond comprehension. The reference to puppy dogs, I understand that most of this testing is done on rats and mice and other animals like guinea pigs. But of course puppy dogs are going to stir the emotions of everyone to achieve the goal that the opposition wants to achieve, which is to slow this process down, So what the member needs to go and have a look at is what the expert panel's job is and what they intend to do in regard to how they decide what drugs may or may not be determined as of minimum risk and how they're going to go about that. So I would suggest to the members that have raised this white herring that they go and have a look at that. Go and have a read of that. Look at the science and have a look at how that process will take place. Further, the suggestion that the chairman somehow or other controlled or manipulated the process so that some expert submitters couldn't be heard is about as far from the mark as it's possible to be. To suggest that the Honourable Paul Hutchinson would do such a thing is beyond comprehension. And I think most people would accept what I'm putting forward. That is not what happened. What was deliberately being set up was a delay of the process by allowing a range of submitters that had nothing to do with the core of this bill, and that's exactly what the members were trying to achieve. Now I say to the new members, this is not a new process. This is not a new process. This is a common theme amongst opposition members of Parliament. So just say to the members, well, how many were there? Right, what does that suggest to the member? What would that suggest to the member? That over 200 people were concerned about animal welfare, not about young people's welfare. That's what it would suggest to me. So go and have a look at what the expert panel would suggest, and then come back and have a look at some of the other things that this bill will do. It will stop the sale of these products in places where children can get access to it. It will minimise the harm that is inflicted on society.
Stephen Browning.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.